right, good afternoon everybody. I'm David Marquardt, Director of Grand Rapids Parks and Recreation. Welcome to Campau Park today. We're so pleased to have you out here despite the rainy clouds hanging over our heads and the splash pad in the background. We wish we had a little bit of sun out here today, but we'll wait for that later this week. A special welcome to all of you today. Thank you for joining us today from your location, the United Methodist Community House. We're pleased to have you out here today and we appreciate you coming over. This is a remarkable celebration of your city, your parks. This is your park within your city, and we're so pleased to have you here today to celebrate this grand reopening. I'd like to also welcome our very own mayor, Mayor Bliss. Well, thank you for joining us today, and City Commissioner Sunita Lanier, thank you. And I would also like to recognize our City Manager, Greg Sundstrom. We appreciate you being out here today as well. If you can believe it, this park construction that we're celebrating here today, this is park number 41 of 74 city parks that we own, that we have made improvements to already with the 2013 voter-approved millage. So this is remarkable. We are over halfway complete with park projects in the city, and that's a huge milestone for us to be celebrating today. We have a lot more work to do, but this work is mostly due in thanks to a lot of partners that come together in working with us to do this. I'd like to thank our project team. We've got Pride Builders Group, Viridis Design Group, and Progressive AE. Thank you for all of your hard work on this incredible park construction. I'd also like to thank especially Friends of Grand Rapids Parks. In the decline of the economy in 2012-13, Friends really stepped up and made a difference in this community, and that's the reason why we're doing all of this work across the city and an important reason that we're celebrating today. So Stephanie, thank you for being here. City Manager, I'd also like to thank you for your support in all of this work. We couldn't do it without your support and your guidance, and we appreciate you being here today, and Mayor Bliss for your support as well. So I'd like to turn it over to you, Mayor Bliss, for a few words, if you would, please.
Thank you. I'm so delighted to be here. I'm going to ask my colleague, Commissioner Lanier, to join me because Commissioner Lanier and I, it was just a few months ago that we stood right over there and we had these big hard hats on, construction hats, and we were grabbing a shovel to break ground on this awesome park. And so we are so excited to be here to see this beautiful park behind us. How many of you are excited to play on this park? Yes! And the splash pad. How many of you are excited to play on the splash pad? Yay! Well, you know what? We are working so hard to make our parks beautiful for all of you to play, because play is so important to growing up. We all need to play a whole lot more. I want to add my thanks to all of the city staff who work so hard, all of our partners, and I'm going to give another shout out to Friends of Grand Rapids Parks, because truly without their advocacy and all of their hard work, we probably wouldn't have been able to pass the campaign that is helping us, that raise money, and that is the money that we're using to redevelop all of these great parks. So I want to thank Stephanie. Friends of Grand Rapids Parks continues to be one of the key partners that we have to make sure that our parks throughout our city are beautiful and that we have lots of them, especially in places where kids live in neighborhoods where they don't have access to a park. So that's one of our goals too. So this work is really important, but it's not the end of our work. We have a lot more work to do. We just as a full city commission, we approved our Parks Master Plan that gives us a vision for where we want our parks to be over the next 5 and 10 years. And in that plan, we have a lot of goals and initiatives that we still need to accomplish. So I'm just delighted to be here today. I love parks for so many reasons, but I mostly love parks when I see children playing in them. So thank you everyone for making today a reality. And I'm going to turn it to my colleague.
Is it morning still, or is it afternoon? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, thank you all for walking over to be with us this afternoon. How are you today? How is the United Methodist going for you today? Do you all come to this park ever to play? You do, and so that's why we asked you to come over and join us today as we were talking about this park reopening. We know that you've been here playing and enjoying the splash pad, but we want to have parks like this all throughout the city so that you'll have a fun, safe place to play, okay? So that's why we're doing this. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for the staff of United Methodist for giving of your time to have them over here. And thanks to the taxpayers of the city of Grand Rapids for your contribution to make sure that we have parks like this for kids like these. Thank you so much. Greg, are you talking? No?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioner. We have cookies, we have water, we have free Frisbees. Please help yourselves celebrate this incredible park improvement. And for those of you that are following us, we will be leaving in about 5 or 10 minutes to go over to Richmond Park on the west side to celebrate another grand opening today. So thank you for coming out today. This is your city, these are your parks. Good afternoon, everybody. David Marquardt here, Director of Grand Rapids Parks and Recreation. We're so pleased to have you out here at Richmond Park today, celebrating the grand reopening of some incredible park improvements. One of which we're standing on right here is the new accessible fishing dock, the first in Grand Rapids. I think this is something to be very proud of. As a part of our strategic master plan over the course of the last year, we heard an awful lot about universal accessibility and the importance of that and the features that we put into our park system. So this is a great feature to be adding. In addition, behind me here, it's a little hard to see between the trees, we made some really great improvements to our shelter structure. We've got some incredible new glass roll-up doors, so we've got that indoor-outdoor sort of feeling for family picnics now, which is pretty cool. And we made some really significant and important improvements to the restroom facilities inside as well. So some great improvements here to celebrate. Thanks in part to GMB Architecture. Jeff and Andy, thank you for being out here today. And Earhart Construction as well. You guys do an awesome job for us, and we really appreciate your hard work. We also have some important partners in this work as well. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources played a huge role in providing some of the funding to support and leverage the important millage funding in this park improvement project. So our hats off to the DNR and their compliments to this important work as well. And Stephanie Adams from the Friends of Grand Rapids Parks Group is here as well. We thank you for your support on all these park improvements that are taking place across the city, which is really remarkable. I'd like to welcome Mayor Bliss. Mayor, if you'd like to say a few words, and John O'Connor, our City Commissioner, as well, if you would, please.
Thank you. I'll just say a few words. What a beautiful park. I wish it was sunny, though. This is an amazing park in our city with a rich history, and I'm so delighted to see these improvements, particularly the improvements around accessibility. Being someone who spent a lot of my time as a child in a wheelchair, I know how important these improvements are, and making sure that kids that may have impairments or disabilities are able to access parks is really critical for our city. So I'm so glad to see these improvements. I also want to add my thanks to everyone who helped make this happen, all of the city staff, all of our great partners who help us build great parks, also Friends of Grand Rapids Parks who were really instrumental as we worked really hard to pass the Parks Millage several years ago that our citizens stepped up and supported, so I want to thank the citizens for making this a reality and putting money into these beautiful parks throughout our city. So with that, I'm going to turn to my colleague who represents this great area on the west side.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, thank you all for coming out. This is it warms my heart to be here today. This is my favorite park in the whole city, and I've been coming to this park for a long, long time. And in fact, I think I started most of my neighborhood shenanigans organizing events in this park. And so it's great to see that the warming shelter be updated to make it a much more active space. It's got such cool architecture and character, and it always felt a little bit like a prison in there. So now that you can open up the windows and the doors and get the outside in and use that space, it's just going to be a great space year-round to bring people to this park, both with the amazing pool in the background and then the best sledding hill in the city right over there. So,
So true.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mayor. And I'd like to thank our City Manager, Greg Sundstrom, for being here today as well. All of you for your support in this year's budget that was just passed as well. The Recreation Division and Parks and Recreation also is in the process of acquiring some new kayaks and stand-up paddleboards, and we will be having lessons right here in Richmond Park Pond and as well as up in Riverside Park as well along the Grand River. So more to come on that. Keep an eye out for those opportunities coming up this summer yet. And with that, we've got cookies, we've got water. Please take a tour. We're happy to show you around and take a peek inside the lodge as well. Thank you, everybody.